Hi guys, the network dropped. I'm very sorry about that. I have to wait a little before I can come up again. So we're talking about news. News, N.E.W.S, news. North, east, west, and south. The four cardinal points of the universe and how it affects us. Yes, Lucky, I'm back. I had network issues, so I had to wait for a little while so I can come back. The live wasn't finished. It was because of the network, so I have to leave for a while. So Shay Butter, do you have any question you would like to ask? You said you had questions that you would like to ask. You'd like to know about something. You can ask your questions. We can talk about them. I sent invitation to Daniel. Daniel, very sorry, I had network issues, so I have to leave. So I can be able to come back. So Eva, if you're not busy, please join the live. Dano, if you're not busy, join the live. If you have a question regarding spirituality, regarding African spirituality, and there's something you would like to know about it, please ask. Don't forget to share. Thank you very much. May our ancestors keep assisting you all, because they dwell within us. Whenever we call upon them, may they be quick to answer. And also may we when we pray for life, may we also pray for wisdom to guide life. We're talking about the African hair, how powerful it is, how the African human hair affects our consciousness and our intuition, affect enlightenment, affect our enlightenment.
I am back.
Okay, I'm very sorry about that. My network is really bad, so sometimes it goes out and it comes back. So Eva, where were we?
Yeah, I think you were talking about something to do with the ancestors, particularly the ancestors, how you bring them in, and going to the land, where particularly people who are living outside Africa, or shall I say Al-Kabilan, I'm not sure what the right name is, but
Yes.
yeah, it's just talking about connecting with ancestors if you're on a foreign land, if I can say it that way. I think we all need, particularly Africans and Afro-Americans that are in the diaspora as well. I just feel that we need to go out and do and use knowledge to go out. Yeah.
Yes. If you're an Afrocan and you live in a faraway land across the ocean, very far out of Africa, you need to go to the land where our ancestors existed, maybe taken as slaves, where they were multiple. Pack the sand from that land and make sure that sand exists in your altar. Remember, like I said before, our altar should be an extension of ourselves.
And you're also talking, I
Yes.
think you also mentioned the sound. Is that the sound when they pick the sparrows? Something that you're talking about is sparrows. When they pick the sparrows and took the sparrows out of their tomb and brought them away from the land where they were as well. And where there was something about the eye that you're also talking about. I think they're all connected in terms of what you were talking about, the third eye, when popular spirituality perceives the third eye as true, but the third eye is not actually true, but it's actually perceiving the truth, right?
Yes. Yes, in Kemet, what they were talking about the eye of Heru is not the pineal gland, is the optic thalamus. It's between the two eyebrows.
Okay.
Yes, not on the forehead. The pineal gland controls the instincts and the intuition. What controls the clover and the healing energy is the optic thalamus, which they are using the news to affect our optic illusion, because that is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That is the Jesus Christ. That is the ascension of Jesus Christ into heaven, the optic thalamus.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, everything that...
No, carry
Go
on.
ahead.
No, I just wanted to bring clarity on what you are saying to people that are joining as well. So the third
Yes,
eye.
go ahead.
And for my own clarity as well, so I just feel that repeating what you said kind of really brings the knowledge, just sort of settles the knowledge, that wisdom in. So the third eye perceives the illusion. So does that mean that it's the illusion of the reality, or the illusion of both, of all of the worlds that we are perceiving in this moment of now?
Yes, is an illusion because someone created you to be in that position to create that illusion for yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
So if the news is not there, you will actually follow the natural laws of the universe, so you will not have to live in illusion. So that is why they bring about materialism. The information given to you can actually help you be enlightened and vibrate highly consciously. So they give us wrong information to actually lower that vibrational frequency, because information is power.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting too, and I'm so happy that you're highlighting this, because even in the spiritual community, particularly, I'm talking about the Western spirituality, they've taken that bigger illusion and sort of created another illusion almost like a sandwich spirituality, where they are now saying that the third eye, for instance, the third eye, when you open your third eye, you see everything. Of course you see, but then they're also saying that they're not talking about other illusions, the bigger illusion, but it's almost like, I just feel that they're taking information from the natural news and information from the optic illusion to create the spirituality that we see right now today.
Yes, that is the sign you see the celebrities give It's not talking about the pineal gland, but the bigger illusion, which is the optic. So
That's very,
if that
very subtle.
yes,
Sorry,
that
go on.
illusion is more important, because when you elevate the pineal gland, it will only help strengthen your intuition, your instinct, because the pineal gland is more about our instinct. It is very instinctive. But the optic thalamus helps you to read energy, because the only thing, because they tell you the eye is the gate to see the soul. So if you want to see the soul of man, look through their eyes. They are not talking about the physical eyes, they are talking about the optic eyes. When you look at a man, you get to see their spirit and know when they are lying and when they are telling the truth. So it's just like this. When you get, if you want to straighten the optic, what you do is, when you get a gift from someone, you keep the gift, make a request about the gift, go to bed, and when you sleep, something will be revealed to you regarding that gift. You will see the true intention of that gift. Why is the optic working? Now, it's not only the news that affects our optic, because the optic is what controls our illusion. But we are not supposed to be in illusion. We are supposed to create an illusion, then manifest that illusion through work. So they are trying to damage the illusion, the optic, from us being able to create. Because when you leave that illusion without being able to walk by believing in miracle or all that, you stay away. They keep you away from that illusion. So, like I said before, while you hope for heaven, you're already in hell. Here is hell. There is nobody in hell. Nobody is in hell. Nobody is burning on that fire. We are all here in hell. Here is the hell.
So do you think that
that makes perfect sense, because in hell is the illusion that is the optic illusion that is actually created.
Yes, and it's created from the news. Like I said, the news is the 4 cardinal points. If you want to create an illusion, a spell to cast an illusion on a people, you must use something that relates to them. So the 4 cardinal points of the universe and the sun is what our ancestors worshipped. Like, we give adoration to the sun because it brings healing into the optic thalamus. So if you take, we have a name for the sun. No sun is bad. The morning sun is Ra Amin. The afternoon sun is Ra Amun. The evening sun is Ra Aman. Then the word Amun itself is somewhere in the brain. That is the horse Jesus rode upon. That is what carries this oil, Christus, down when it creates into cranium after being crucified for 3 days in the tomb. It stays dead in the pineal gland for 3 days. Then it creates an oil called cranium. So just like the universe creates minerals, the human body also creates minerals, but these minerals can actually heal you and give you enlightenment. So normally, with the food you take, with the kind of meal you take, if you're plant-based, no chemicals, you can actually, your body can actually heal itself without medicine, just herbs. So when you take the chemicals, it destroys the cells that can actually fight disease. But the plant-based will help strengthen the immune to fight disease, so you wouldn't have to be a customer to the hospital.
But the thing is, like, people don't understand that we, all of us, the Bantu, literally, we're not meant to be touching the meat. And also on top of that, the Bible, when you keep saying that don't bite the apple, I know that concept. What it means the Bantu kids have basically sinned, have gone against their father's I don't know, you want to say scroll, Bantu scrolls, which were literally basic principles of like don't go. It's like we have created Bible in so many times, but people think it's one. This one is the
Yes.
latest one that we have. So because we keep partaking into it, we keep
You,
losing
we
ourselves.
are.
So the food is jamming the electrics because obviously our body is
Yes.
electric. But because we keep shuffling breakfast, dinner, lunch, but we don't even fast as a collective. There's no time to
Yes.
stop to, yeah, go ahead.
The 40 days and 40 nights Jesus stayed in the desert was actually an allegory to tell you that you're not supposed to eat every time. Now, when you eat all the time, your body uses this chemical always to digest.
Digestion. Just
Now,
energy.
it, yes, excess. It uses excess. So it keeps the brain tired. So when you eat little and give space on your body, you can actually create the this oil from the solar plexus, and that oil is sperm because it smells like fish and tastes like salt. So that oil climbs into the ossa and the osset, which is the cerebellum and the cerebrum. So it creates Peru, which is the optic thalamus. It's about medicine. It's about human body. So again, if you're an African, you want to pray, and you live in a Western world, maybe you don't know the language, you must learn our African language because it creates sounds that relates with the universal vibrational frequency because it's pure sound. You need that sound. So that is where voodoo came from. Voodoo is not a means to harm somebody, but voodoo is a way to express yourself from the soul. We no longer do that these days. That is what you see in the church when somebody fell under anointing. That is the body being tired and the soul rising to control the body that is tired. So you have excess energy. You communicate with the source. So it's not actually falling under anointing, but it's actually experiencing the body and the soul vibrating together. So if you want to get this, you have to learn how to dance. You must learn how to sometimes put music. Just keep dancing, and you get to a time where this body gets tired and you see that you're not the one dancing, it's actually the soul expressing itself till you get tired and you fall.
That's why I love.
And you know, it's one thing, right? When I go out every Friday, well, not every Friday, I don't go out anymore.
This is why we are called the Bantu.
I love dance dancing.
Sorry, Daniel, continue.
Oh, I was saying that down here, because I know they gave us the spirits, you know, the drink. I know it's like when you go places to dance, because the music is what's keeping your body balanced and focused. You're leaning towards energies. That way, when you leave the place, you will get hit by the wind because that wave has stopped running. That's why we start sleeping, vomiting, and that and so on. So I can see why they got us on those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Your weekday. The Sunday you're meant to be recharged, but recharge is stressed about the Monday. So you're still in the loop. So it makes so much sense. Yeah.
The Sunday speaks about the day of the sun, and the Monday speaks about the day of the moon. It's about the moon. So the sun strengthens the optic thalamus. The moon strengthens the pineal gland because the moon is intuitive. Then you come about the stars. The stars gives birth to creativity because it's a mother.
So they distracted us by obeying telling to look at the influences as stars. So we took that side of looking what is blossoming all over us to look at these other vessels outside of us. So yeah, I see.
Yes, yes,
Magnets around.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So the moon, the day of the moon is Monday. The day of the sun is Sunday. Then Tuesday is Taurus.
Okay.
It talks about the Taurus, which is the neck. Taurus is the neck. Aries is the head. So up down to the 12 spinal nerves is the 12 zodiac signs. So the moon strengthens the intuition. The sun strengthens the optic thalamus. So the stars give birth to creativity. That is why we believe in sun, moon, and star. So we are not meant to follow worship, but rather we are meant to follow the universe in order to understand ourselves. Because if you go to the plants they heal each other. They can create, they can generate, they can create, and then they can recreate. When a plant dies off, it gives its source into the other plants that are living to create life.
The beautiful thing I heard from one of our elders is like ancestors basically spend more time preparing for their death other than the other side, because they already knew that they're gonna need to leave something worth for the other seed to blossom. So now you can see the whole GMO directions obviously to destroy the black man's, the bones and so that stuff.
Yes.
So it's literally that's the goal, and all of it. That is the goal.
Yes, the goal is to that is why Eva called it optic illusion. Optic illusion. They create this illusion to keep us busy. To keep you busy, very busy, so you wouldn't have time to look upon the truth. So, like
the more important thing that Shaman here, our brother here, talks about is the news. It's the news. So when you look at the acronym for the news, when you look at the news, it's the directions of the universe, the natural directions of the universe. But what they've done in the optic illusory world is to turn that into your daily news, where they feed you more lies.
Yes. They demoralize the truth. They make you look at the truth as a demonic,
as a lie.
So that is why they have arcana. But in arcana they divided into two: the lesser arcana and the greater arcana, which is the lesser knowledge and the greater knowledge. So most of us have the knowledge of the physical world, but then they remove the knowledge of the greater world from us. Then they told us that this knowledge exists somewhere else and not related to us. So in order to connect to this knowledge, we have to pray and worship. But it's a lie. This greater arcana dwells within us, because there's no gap between the physical and the spiritual world. It's just within us. That is why they call the Kemetic ancestors called it thy rod and thy staff. So the rod itself is the physical aspect of life, because we tend to perceive it as hard and strong. But the staff itself get to do with wisdom. That is why you see the feather. That is why the symbolism of the feather, because the staff brings balance. It brings balance to be able to create. So when you look at the staff in an understanding way with the natural law of the universe, then you get to see that this rod can actually be used to craft, which means your
That's a nice one you just said there. So, like for instance, down here in the West, right?
Mm.
When we say
Mm.
Happy New Year, new me, new this, new that, they don't understand because I came from Malawi originally, so I've been digging with my grandma,
You are
planting
a
coins.
Bantu now.
I've been through that, so I'm glad that I started from there, got here. But I got here by accident, really, as a doctor by my auntie.
Okay.
So I've lived around with fruits around me. I didn't go to the grocery stores. Like everything was around me. Anything I need, market, whatever, it was literally outside my house, next to the door. So when I came here, I know it's like since we're not doing the farming, we're harvesting products. Basically, the products have been turned instead of growing crops, we're growing products. So when you even you manifest those materials, you still meant to align it with the way ancestors did it, which is September
Yes.
when the sun, I don't know, let's say like in February, March, that's when the plants are blossoming. That's
September
the energy.
September is the 7th month.
7. Okay.
Septa is 7.
7. So in Africa, New Year's when the sun rises, the sun
The
comes
new
back rise
year
is
the new
September.
year is wrong because by the time you say Happy New Year, you have already lived 4 months out of the new year.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
when does the
So
New Year start?
it starts March.
February.
March is Aries.
March, yeah.
Aries. March
Yeah.
is Aries.
Yeah.
Aries is the head.
Wow.
So you need to count it from the 12 spinal nerves. So if you know these 12 spinal nerves, you can actually count it from the head. Head is Aries, neck is Taurus. So you count it down to Deca, which is Sagittarius. But actually, Sagittarius is not the end. Capricorn is the end.
Oh, they've flipped the whole thing.
They flipped the whole thing. They added some days to it.
Yeah.
In African tradition, the moons is 28 days, not even 29.
Yeah, I know.
So we believe.
I noticed that.
Yes, we believe that when the moon is 28 and you didn't see it, it's actually the sky is cloudy, so you have to wait. So while you're waiting, it doesn't mean the moon is not there. It's already full. So you're just waiting to see it. But that doesn't mean if you perform a ritual, it wouldn't be accepted because the energy of the moon is already vibrating within the cloud. So the energy is there, but the reflection of the light is not there. A lot of us think that all these things reflect light. No, they radiate energy, not light. So we are the one who perceive them as light. We're doing the perceiving because we observe and then we project. So you seeing them as light, it comes from within, because if you see somebody who have colored problem in their head, they don't have the vision for light, no color. So the color, we adding the color is something that there's something doing it in our head. So it controls the way we perceive.
Our senses are sharp.
It's very sharp. In fact, you can be a different person if you can actually live. It's very difficult to live like that, but if you can practice it, it's very good and makes you high vibrational.
Yeah, like me, sometimes I like to stay in a quiet place. I don't like noise too much. So sometimes they think maybe I'm possessed because if you make too much loud noise, I don't like. Sometimes I like to think over things time and time till I get the right point about that very thing. So if you're talking to me, if you're talking to me, I know when you're saying the truth and when you're lying. I just choose to listen.
Yes,
and because of that, the truth, I hardly keep friends. Because if you're lying, I know. So it's a problem somehow.
But the truth is, if you have a child who is actually groomed in a place there is noise, that child, the body system will be okay with that noise. Your body can adopt noise because in that noise are different vibrational sounds.
That's the West of.
Yes, they have a meditation for it. They have a meditation for it.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a meditation for it where you get to meditate in an open field where people, cars, everything. They call it they call it machine meditation because you get sound from the machines. So
can you focus? Can you still focus and meditate with all that noise?
Yes, it's a training because if you can be able to absorb through this noise and select the actual ones you need. That is why when you off the radio or whenever you're feeling sleepless at night, you're not being able to sleep. Maybe you're listening to a radio. When the radio goes off and that noise, there's what they call it. I don't know the name for it, but I know there's that sound.
The frequency.
Yes, that frequency can make you sleep within seconds. It can make you sleep. That's why when you're listening to the radio and the radio goes off, you wake up in the morning with the radio again. But throughout then, between the time there was that noise, you are already gone. Yes, you can actually meditate from noise, from cool selected noise. You can see on YouTube noise vibration getting from the street. It helps you pick out. In fact, there is a level you meditate to. You'll be able to pick out a particular noise, and it keeps ringing in your ear till you get out of that environment. So sometimes you go out. Yes, you go out to noise and you meditate. It's very important because it helps your brain. Your brain doesn't need the cool all the time. Sometimes you need to meditate around the noise. It helps you. It trains the brain. It trains your brain.
And also, King, I got a question. So, like in the West, right? They plant the male trees everywhere. Male trees, no female trees. Do you think that has an effect on it as well? Like in terms of what we think? Because I mean, like we walk around nature. We said nature. Like in Africa, it's a mix. We know that it's a blend. It's little plants, mushrooms. You get all that energy naturally. You step on the ground often, but down here you go concrete. Male trees, the only places you're allowed to, I guess, breathe is the park. It's a little square space where you sit and do what you need to do. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, does that have an effect? Do you think it has an effect on us? Because Christianity is all male dominant and etc.
Yes. Number one, my brother, I've been calling you Daniel, but first of all, you need to change your name to an African name. It's very important you do that.
Nyasha means lad of God.
Does it make any difference, like your name being African and all that?
Yeah, it does.
Yes, our name is not a language. We don't have a language. It is called language because it's been affected. It's actually a language because it's not pure. Because if it have to be a land and then is affected, is a language, which means it's generated from original lands.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's
language, land engage.
It is language and then engage. So that land means is generated from different ethnic sounds. So, like I said before, whenever you want to pray or you want to affirm, please use your ethnic language because the English is a spell.
So I do that actually. If I want to pray, I use my native name.
Very important. So, my brother, you talked about the male plants.
Male plants.
Every plant you see in the Western world was taken as example to the to your ward where you
So
stay.
it's a hybrid.
Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, that's true.
it was taken from Africa down to the Western world.
Even
So
animals,
it can.
most of the animals.
Oh yeah, they are. No, it's like behavior.
So
Trust me.
so those because when they take it, they go through labs and all those things before they plant it. So the plant itself lost its female part of it. That's why they make it grow. Even from little,
Yeah.
it grows a lot of fruits and all that. It's not supposed to grow like that. It's supposed to grow through mating, because the female and the masculine exist within a plant that grows
No
fruits.
balance as well. Yeah. Oh, wow.
So the balance is not there.
It's
so
off.
they're using chemical to support it and create the female part of it. So that is why we talk about chemical-based plant. We don't need it. You need a natural grown plant with nature, because everything, the earth itself creates its own chemical for plants. So those natural chemicals is what you need, because if, like mango tree is very good for kidney. The leaves and the stem is very good for kidney cleansing and liver cleansing. Now imagine a plant like this having fruit, which means it have all the complements of the stem, the body, and the leaf all together into one fruit. So when you eat a fruit, you're not just eating the leaf, you're eating the stem, you're eating the leaves, you're eating everything,
the whole DNA.
With the fruit. That is why, yes, the whole DNA. That is why in fruit you get to see the veins, which is the root. Every fruit have veins in them. So just like the veins are in the roots, the same way the veins are
in our bodies.
Yes, are in our bodies. So they regenerate those veins into the fruits. Like when a woman gives birth to a child, it's just a creation of the woman from the cord into the child.
And you know another thing, brother, here down here when women give birth, they intend to worry about the marks or the leftover flesh on their body. But I know it's like when the baby milks, when they're out of the womb, when they're sucking the breast, they pull back the veins, the strings that will put your stomach back again. But because of the stuff we eat here, that process is being failing. So they're under pressure, like, let go do exercise, let me go do. On top of that, just in general, us understanding nature, we know that that's okay, you give life. And that wouldn't be any stress to anyone. Like, you go back again to their roots, their parents.
Echoing, guys. Echoing. The voice is echoing.
Yeah, I can't. The noise is louder than the voice. I can barely hear him.
Yeah.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
No, I'm hearing you, the host. I'm hearing you. Daniel, I'm fine because you are Daniel.
Oh, there's no noise
Okay.
at mine. I don't have any noise.
I don't have any noise either.
Okay.
So it might be a moment.
Okay, Daniel, continue. What were you saying?
Yeah, I was just saying that the babies, like people have missed that information of like the baby when they suck your breast, they're meant to literally, it pulls naturally the stomach back to where it was. But because people, again, it's the whole concept of the hospital itself, how they tell you what drugs to take, what not to do. So I was just saying the same part as well, because you're talking about the whole seed that we eat the fruits. If the fruits are messed up, like for instance here, we have seedless lemons right now, seedless grapes, and all this other stuff. So which I already know that they do make a little impact in our bodies as well, because we're taking certain strands. But we talk about the black mitochondria and stuff like that. We believe that we can always remix that. Like you said, you can adapt. You just have that ability to adapt and get something out of it. So it's possible. That's why, again, maybe our DNA still survives for this long. But yeah.
The seed on every plant is very, very important because the seed is the genetic of that plant. So when you get a fruit and you see a seed inside the fruit, it means it can be genetically created naturally. So when you put it on the ground, on earth, it will actually grow. So plant without seed is exactly what I'm telling you, because it is the chemical that is acting as the female. So all of them are male. So when they add the chemical to it, it starts creating fruits. It starts giving birth. So it's just like we have barrenness in women. We also have barrenness in plants. You get?
Yeah.
So when a plant, so what you have in the Western world is a barren plant. Is a barren plant.
They're so obsessed.
That's why even most of their grapes comes without seeds, seedless grapes, which is not good.
Yes, it is bad. It's chemical.
Bad, very bad.
Very, very bad.
No wonder why my dad telling me, don't eat it, don't eat that, don't eat the lemon. So like I looked it, find that what's good, but the fruits and whatnot. If I see labels, things struggling to grow, I just put it aside. Like the apples, they don't work the same way as how the apple works. You can tell how plastic the taste is different. So yeah, there's a lot going down. And so if you avoid so many things, I know people think they're gonna starve, but then I'm like, yo, you're gonna benefit from actually fasting, because the more you're doing that, sometimes just eat once a day. That's especially here. I can only speak where I am right now, because I know if I was in Mama Land, I would be eating guavas, mangoes, whatnot. But here, like, it's so scary. I'm telling you, the way they're modifying the chicken. The vegan system as well. They're making the flavors of the chicken, but it has to be in a vegan category. It doesn't make sense. It's like just leave the taste of the meat and just put it what it needs to be. But because they don't understand creativity,
that is why in Africa, our chickens, we allow them go about. We don't feed them. We don't choose foods for them. This is the reason when they go about the natural earth. They pick leaves. Now, there's a reason why we Africans value chickens, because the medicine called herbs, they are the animals who actually taught us to use them. The chicken and the goats, our grandfathers owned them to show them things. When you own chicken, watch every leaf it picks is medicinal to the human body. And when they go, yes, it's eatable. Any leaf birds pick is eatable. It's not harmful. Okay. So these leaves heals them. They don't need medicine to heal. They get sick, get swollen eye, but they heal themselves because they know the leaves they take. So our grandfathers watched them very careful. That is actually the reason why we keep them, because they are intelligent. We don't see them as animals to be preyed on. We see them as animals who are enlightened. That's why we have the N.E.W.S. Yes, they are also a part of us. They teach us. So they heal themselves, but them they put theirs in poultry, and they force chemicals, foods, and most of those chicken was created in the lab. So the chicken we have in Africa was go through the natural method of creation as the human body.
Even the eggs, that's different.
Yes, their eggs are bad because it's chemical. That's why you don't need it. What if you don't have African chicken over there? Don't eat their chicken.
If
Because-
if I show you one corner store here, oh my god, they're everywhere.
But it's chemical. That's why the skin is not strong. The skin melts. It melts away.
Yeah.
The skin.
They even need to inject it to grow bigger than its natural way. Grow bigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Overnight.
When you eat the meat, it crumbles. It crumbles instead of being strong. You know, the skin of animal is supposed to tear.
Yes.
It tears, but their own, it doesn't tear. It crumbles.
It breaks.
When you bite in, it's just like bread. So our own is strong, and all the nutrients is there within it because they eat herbs.
And they are very strong.
Yes, very strong, very healthy. It contains all the nutrients within it. It's not harmful.
Down here they thought it was the opposite. That if the chicken is softer, that's better. If the other side is hard, it's really hard. But no one ever understands. That's what you're telling us is very important, because like you said,
yes,
things out the other way around.
If you eat chickens like that, it can actually give you infections because in the skin mucus. There are a lot of worm. There's a lot of worm on the skin.
You just stick one place and eat all the time.
Yes, because in Aforuka, our goats, we let them move around the bush, so they eat naturally. They pick leaves.
They're not in a cage.
And yes, what our ancestors did was watch them carefully to notice the kind of leaf they picked, and they know that this leaf, when they are vomiting, watch them. They go look for herbs. So when you watch them, they pick a particular herbs. We know, okay, this is good for vomiting, and we use them. It works. That is how animals taught us. They taught us medicine. Yes, animals taught us medicine. We didn't just wake up one day and we found medicine.
Start eating leaves.
Yes, we didn't just start that. They taught us that knowledge. They gave us that knowledge of medicine.
Yeah, like in my compound here, we have bitter leaf. The chickens here don't allow that bitter leaf to breathe.
Yes, they eat it. Yes. So bitter leaf is good for cleansing.
Down here might be worse
bitter leaves,
because like the food that you have to feed the chicken, it's actually produced by them as well, so it's even more effed up. It just gets worse and worse.
The bitter leaf is very good for circulatory of the blood. So not the first wash. Not the first wash.
Okay.
When you wash it, not the first wash, the second one.
Oh.
That is where the original taste of bitter leaf comes out. It has original taste. You have to wash it for the first one, sieve out the water, then wash it for the second one. It is very good for blood circulation.
Alright. I have a question here. If you say and you feel that somebody is talking something about you, maybe saying something about you, maybe you have the feeling that someone somewhere is saying something not good about me, what do you do?
That is where the term evil eye comes from. Because in ancient Aforuka, a lot of misinformation exists now, because a lot of us think witchcraft is actually putting up things together to send something to harm somebody, but it is not so.
Choose witchcraft. Choose the craft.
Witchcraft is actually the wisdom of the mind. It comes from the mind. That which means wisdom.
So it's not which power you want to use. That's how some.
No. Which is wisdom, which comes from wise. Wise.
Wisdom.
So it's of the mind. So it can be projected. So that is why we have evil eye. So if somebody is talking evil about you, you can let them talk. But when somebody is projecting evil thoughts against you, that is witchcraft. That is when you have to act.
Oh, okay.
So you will have to now
that's
do
why we
something.
Should have good intentions for everything around us.
Yes.
Or else we are casting the body. Even we may not subconsciously or consciously, but we should still be careful that it's still going to bounce back to
that means that the thought of the mind is much stronger than the words, right?
That is why firstly they have to cut us off from the original language. If you look at our African original language, it's going extinct. It's going away and being replaced with a spell. You call it English, but I call it a spell because it's not the sound, the original sound that is supposed to come out from your body. We have this sound. That is why we call it Bantu. We speak Bantu because the sound is original, and our body created this sound to match the universe. So I've touched that before. We talked about it, Dano, right?
Yeah. This connection between us and the planet. The spiral. Everything moves in a spiral. So we're meant to follow it as well, but we've been reversed or mumbo-jumbled up with it.
Yes, that is why they taught us all these things. Physics is not real. Yes, it was just to remove us from the truth, actually.
Yeah, and I have another question. This idea of let's say when you eat meat or when you eat any living thing, it lowers your vibration. What do you have to say about that?
Oh, can I say that?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
So basically, when we talk about the dead, meaning that obviously we killed the dead, but the intentions of that dead animal was not even to that level. We don't know where it came from. Like you said, we don't know the DNA issues that mingled up with that. But then when you consume it, because you're electric, again, there are certain things like the body, that meat doesn't digest in your body, to be honest. But again, talking about living things, that something is alive, although the flesh, it goes deeper because people struggle to connect it between the spiritual perspective and the physical side of it. You know, it's the same way when we say that some people today, they say that in this industry, we know that they sacrifice this every time. They always do that when they want to harvest some sort of energy. So when we consume the meat, it just doesn't make sense. I'll try to find a word. Did I get there?
The sacrifice of animal is used to manipulate the actual nature of the universe.
Yeah, that's
so to force intentions into reality. Now, killing of animal is wrong depending on the purpose you're killing them for.
Intention.
So,
the reason why. Okay, if you have to kill an animal, you must actually honor that animal because it lives with a spirit.
Yep.
And then after killing that animal, yes, the animal has a spirit. They have the chi, which is the yang and yang. They have they have the masculine and the feminine part of them. That is why they can care for you, and they can also be aggressive to defend themselves. That is the masculine. When they fight, that is the masculine part of them is hostile. Just like a human will fight to defend themselves.
Yep.
So are the animals. So to kill an animal, you must plead with the spirit. You must give them food. You must treat them right. And when you kill the animal, our ancestors did not consume the meat raw. When you cook meat, it's raw. We don't eat meat raw. We dry them.
That's why the blood has to go down on the ground again to connect back to the nature, to the earth, and so on.
Yes. That's why we dry them.
Okay.
We smoke them. And when you smoke them, the smoke helps keep the natural content and the way the animal should be eaten. It helps. It helps.
So it's not good you kill it and you cook it. You rather kill it and then dry it.
Yes, you kill it and then you dry it. It won't affect your vibration, because in regarding
That
to
makes so much
spirituality,
sense. Oh, wow.
in regarding to spirituality, we believe that when we dry them, their spirit goes out through the smoke. That is spirituality. So we have to dry them.
I'm saying that that makes so much sense.
So we have to dry them to keep away from karma, because when you kill them, you inherit karma from shedding blood.
That makes sense.
So you have to
down
dry
here,
them.
They kill the animals here
That
using
means
that
it
electric
makes
shock.
sense that if you want to eat any animal, you kill it yourself.
If you want to, in ancient, like what my ancestors do, even I met my father doing it. My father would not buy any meat that you have already killed. He said the ancestors, yes, my ancient ancestors taught that to my dad, and he passed that knowledge to me. You don't eat animal you didn't kill.
So that applies
Because
to the fishes and every other thing.
Apply to what?
The fishes and every other animal.
They are dried and smoked as well. That's what
the fishes is the reason why you have the combination of the leg being the tail of the fish and the upper body a human being. Is the relativeness of the N.E.W.S. That is the relativeness of the aqua body. So we are not different from the fishes, because we have scales, which is the skin. Our skin regenerates. It regenerates. It can actually be removed, and then it creates itself. At a particular time of the year, your skin recreates and changes, just like the snake.
Yes.
So the lower part of the mermaid, which is the fish tail, and the upper body is an explanation of the human relativeness, human relativeness to aqua body.
Okay. So eating fish doesn't make sense.
If you want to eat fish, you have to fish it yourself. Make sure it's alive.
Okay.
Yes, because before you kill a fish,
it's like
yes, process yourself. Yes, you have to dry it before you eat.
And also, I was going to give a good example. That's of the line of animals. For instance, the way they use timber or a tree. Back home when we cut a tree, we can turn it into a drum. That means the journey of that tree still continues and contributes to the planet, because obviously we are communicating with sound. Like I said, we're just beating the drums to talk to that village and that village. So that relationship, again, is still connected. Like you said, anything you can do, have intentions, process it yourself, you do what you need to do to make sure that no harm was, can the karma or something doesn't get
But
brought back
by
in
the
there.
time we are done drying this food, this meat or fish, can we still use it to prepare our different delicacies like the soup, the stew? Can we still put them inside and cook it?
That's what I'm saying. If you have to eat the meat, you must make sure you're not inheriting karma from it. Now, you cannot eat a meat killed by another man because you don't know how it was killed.
You don't know the intentions.
Yeah, so yes, the intentions are different. So you have to create your own intention into the meat. So your intention is what you eat. Like they said in the Bible, it's not what goeth inside a man that is a sin, but what cometh out of a man. Now, your intake is what destroys your Christus, because whatever you eat destroys this Christus. It reduces the lifespan. Okay. It's not like our ancestors didn't eat meat. They eat meat, but they didn't consume meat. This word now, we consume meat. There's a difference. You consume meat and you just eat meat. Like when they dry it, our ancestors can put only 2 meat in a soup. Just 2 pieces of meat in a soup. And it's enough to give you all the nutrients you need. You don't need to consume it. You need to eat
too much.
The rest were veggies.
No, not consuming too much. You don't need to consume meat. You need to just you need the nutrient that comes out of the meat into the soup. So that is why we dry it on the smoke to actually generate that nutrients. Wow. So the intention is very, very important.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, somebody is asking, I'm a Rasta and my girlfriend, they are asking me to cut it openly. My girlfriend, he said the girlfriend is asking him to cut his hair. What do you think, Daniel?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Like, at the end of the day, if you meet your soulmate or so-called, call it soulmate or your significant other, you should understand that both of you are different entities at the same time. You're all having the different experiences, but you're putting this harmonization together to figure out the path that you guys want to take. And at the end of the day, it's actual protection. She protects you and so on. But when you're making decisions like you were saying earlier about your own body, I don't know whether it's a person marrying a white person or black to black. Because I know if it was a black woman, she would not do that. But anyway, I don't know which side it is. But you should be the one making the first decision. Because, again, the first car you got on this planet is your body. So you're the one navigating how that works, how it survives in places where you have been, based on your experience up to now. So I would say, ask yourself, is it for just beauty standards or is it actually for yourself that you want to keep it? You have to follow your gut feeling. That's what I would say.
Okay.
Anytime.
If I have to add to that, any relationship you're starting with someone and you're already giving you terms for that relationship, you're not supposed to be in that relationship, because you need somewhere you need to express. Yes, you need to express yourself, because anybody who is giving you conditions is also giving your soul a condition. So you are not going to be able to express yourself fully in that relationship. So that person is not actually helping you to rise, but rather is helping you to cage yourself. Because
there you go.
In the end, a lot of us see red flags and we don't get to take it seriously. This is a red flag, because if you have to look in a certain way to impress somebody, means they don't love you the way you are in the first place, because after you have cut your hair, they are going to find something else that you need to cut out of your life in order to suit them. So it's not about you, it's about them now. They are suiting themselves. They are not thinking about what actually makes you happy. So it's just like if I like football, and during the time I have to watch that football, and my girlfriend wants us to go and see a movie because she knows I like football. That is the sacrifices we make. That is blackmailing. So she just need to accept you enough the way you are. So don't do it.
You are. That's it. And down here, like you said, they use it. The sisters. Oh my God. The glues, the hairs from India, the ones that are recycled. Because like you were saying, there's sometimes people, based on the cultures, they have their own rituals, but we been disconnected. And like I said, you all know that the target is, that. So
yes,
it makes so much sense. Like
they are creating illusions for us to live in. So just like we are saying, if you're a Rasta and you have locked hair, that is why they called it the dreaded hair, the fearful hair, because your hair is a living being. Apart from you, your hair lives. As you grow, your hair grows. In fact, your hair can grow as faster than you are. So even when you have stopped growing, your hair keeps growing because it's living. So it's Medusa because it's medulla. It's connected to the brain. So your hair.
Solomon post that you posted makes so much sense.
Yes, the hair is actually an extension of the brain and can be used to think. So if affected, it will affect the brain. So if you have mental health issues and you have something that is bothering you emotionally, it can affect your whole hair and it can cause bad hair. Yes, your emotion.
Wow.
When your emotions are affected, it affects your energy. Then it can affect the hair itself. You start losing hair.
And also, where the hair grows, the spiral. When you see a baby starts from the back of the head there, and is that why when it stops, when people start getting bald? Does that mean these are the symptoms that you're mentioning here?
Yes, it has to be. It is emotional. It is emotional, very very emotional because
that spiral.
Yes.
Emotional. Oh wow.
Yes.
Oh
so
God.
So everything is the opposite of what you say. Bald head is hereditary, like I said before. Yes, it's hereditary, but the only thing that can affect your hair to go bad is your mental health. If you have bad mental health, if you have emotional problems, you can lose your hair, because the treatment of your hair is actually natural, just within the body. What you eat,
and also this is the question. I think this one, I don't know, many of the challenges we're gonna connect on something in this one. So one of our elders was saying that let's say the whole point of religion is that when you die, I mean, even the way we bury ourselves is wrong. We're meant to bury ourselves in a position where how we came when we were in the mama's belly, like curled up in a way and lie down. And women should not be at the front of the funeral because their wombs are still active. They might be able to collect the demons, whatever the hell is there. But Europeans, they do the other way around. They place our women at the front. They make us wear black clothes in order to absorb this stress. Because again, as long as you're carrying all these other energies, they weigh you down. So moving forward, one of our elders, he's South African, so he was saying that when you can rename, no, he's not South African, he's Nigerian as well. He said when your soul, right now, obviously I can call Daniel now because I'm here, but when I was back home, I was called Nyasha Zashi. That's Sean now. But then, when you go, your soul, in order for it not to get trapped in a dimension, however people want to break it down, you have to name your soul a secret name that no one knows. And when you keep that, don't say it to anybody, don't say it to your wife, but when you go, that day, then you close. you will hear that voice that will help you pull out of this rib. Because again, someone not long ago, they were saying that these guys, by them digging the tombs, they have unleashed certain elements. I think the ancestors knew that if they unleashed those, depending on how powerful they were able to break through the simulation or the dome. So as a result, this is the leakage of the consciousness that we're getting in right now. So yes, they knew the Bantu kids would wake up around 2020. That's why they brought the whole Jabi, but they know, specifically the Bantu, because I don't know, max 400 years or something like that. People who do the calculations.
Yes.
So all these things
if you calculate it, is the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius.
Aquarius,
is the age of enlightenment. We are in the age of Aquarius. That's why there's a lot of speculative enlightenment going on around the world. But you need to be careful, because amongst all those are misleading too.
Yeah.
Now,
even when you call the ancestors themselves, I mean, you have to be specific, because not all of them were that good intention. That's why they're back to family got dismantled. So
yes, please,
right now,
please, guys,
the people who are betrayed.
Please, guys, keep sharing. Is a collective enlightenment. Thank you all. What you were talking about, the dead, in my own culture, even children are not allowed to see the dead. Children are not allowed to see this dead, because at about 7 years, even before 7 years, their consciousness is the same as the universal consciousness, because it vibrates the same. Then at about 7 years, their portal is open, which is the portal of knowledge. So whatever they receive can be created into energies within them. So that is why we begin at the age of 7 to lose our original consciousness, depending on the kind of parents you have. So the kind of information they give you can affect you up to the age till you grow old. That is when the genetic mutation starts, the transcripting of information. So because of that, in Afrocan religion, you don't take kids to funeral. So if a woman have to come to a funeral, if she is pregnant, she must put an affix pin into her clothes to help wedge the negative energy, because iron is known as negative extractor. It helps absorb energy. That's why we use Ogun. Ogun is a natural earth metal that absorbs negative energy. So a woman cannot go to the funeral, because a woman is what brings life, and also keeps the decision. Yes, they also make a huge decision whether that life should be created or not. So a dead person who is not naturally, traditionally cleaned will not be free from the body, because that body is interwoven with the soul. So in order to have a speedy incarnation or reincarnation, that body and the process must be cleaned very well to be able to reincarnate real quick.
But there's a lot for my people to learn out here.
Yes, when somebody dies, there is an agreement they made before they come into this world. And that agreement they made, most of us keep living, and then we die without getting to that agreement. And that agreement is the purpose. So when somebody dies, you must perform the ritual to cut them off from that purpose, in order for them to be able to sign a new purpose to come into life. It's science. It's pure science.
They are non-science. This is everything. They just branded the little science project, but it's like spirituality is science. It's just unseen. That's what it is.
Yes,
because they're so obsessed with compressing and make sure it's visible.
Yes. They make you, they keep you busy because they have to tell you a little truth and then fill it up with all lies. Our ancestors are very...
Go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, so I was just saying again that there's another topic that you're saying about the whole fruit thing, meaning that even our species should not be pollinated. Like, you shouldn't be doing that because you're bringing confusion to a place where there's already confusion, especially just for the bank.
Yes.
So yeah, like I said again, it's like sinning against our own fathers. That's what it is. Whatever the Bible says is talking about warfare.
Yes, eating from the fruit of life. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, eating from the fruit of life. We must understand what the fruit is and what the life within it means. The fruit of life, like I said, let me explain it from the beginning.
So wait, hold on. So when you're saying, the way you described it, so for instance, right now we know that the West, they are the way they are. That's the fruit, the way it's behaving. So if you take me, put myself in there, literally, that's more gas and fire. Okay, I got it.
Yes. Okay. If you want to understand these people, you must understand how to revise the spell. Now, when they say fruit of life, it means you are the fruit and you are the living. So now, eating from the fruit of life, like I said before, there is an oil, which is the sperm that comes out of the solar plexus. Then this oil runs down the spinal column. Then it runs all through the 33 vertebrae, which is, you remember Jesus was 33 years before he died. Yeah. So that 33 years is an allegory of the spinal cord. It has 33 vertebrae up to the neck. So this oil climbs into the head. So in order to actually find the true knowledge of this oil, you have to meet a woman. That is why we say women are God, because they are closest to what the universe expression is, because of their monthly flow, because it's nature. So the woman's ovulation is like this Christus coming out of her. So during the ovulation, is either she's having sex that time. We are adults, so I have to say sex. So it's either she's having sex.
SCX, you don't want to get blocked. SCX.
Okay,
SCX. Okay. Yeah. Or the
okay.
X.
It's
don't
either
get blocked.
is either she's having X during the time of ovulation for creation of life, not for pleasure, because during that time, this oil comes out and goes back to the head. So when you have X, you waste the oil because it has to come down to water the place. So you are wasting the oil that is eaten from the fruit of life. So in terms of man, when this oil creates, which is sperm, and moves into the spinal column, and you have X as a man, you are wasting it because you're not using it to enlighten yourself, and you're not using it to create. That is eating from the fruit of life, because this oil itself is the fruit of life, because when it goes up here, stay dead for 3 days. During the time it ascends as cranium, it causes vibration. It vibrates. And that vibration, it sends the oil to the 5,000 nerves. That is the fish and bread Jesus shared to the 5,000 people. That is 5,000 nerves.
Wow. They even... Oh, God. Okay. They blended in the cell very well.
Yes, that is the 5,000 nerves. He's feeding. So this cranium goes into the extremes. That is why we ask our brothers to go back to the way we used to eat when we were Africans, because everything is no longer our food. A lot of soup we cook today, it doesn't contain the natural spices anymore. Like curry. Yes, curry in the old was just leaves. We use leaves to create curry. But today we have grains, they blend and they call it curry, but it's actually chemicals. So this oil is the enlightenment and the fruit in the center of the garden. And the tree that sits in the center of the garden itself is the heart. And every nerves, which is all the rivers of the garden, flows into the heart. Yes, I can take the call right now. So every fruits, every rivers in the garden Eden connects to the heart, which is the nerves. So all the nerves goes into the heart. So the heart is the circulatory.
But that's why the brothers we keep saying that then about that how people are stuck on the heart chakra, because that's it just goes this far. But that's interesting.
We all using our heart to think instead of the seat of enlightenment.
Even earth as a whole. I mean, whatever they call it, earth, it spells heart. I don't know if it's so. Yeah, I believe the Bantu. Yeah, everything is from the heart, from the soul. We create things with intention, and it has to move with intention.
The garden of Eden is the human body, the human nerves, everything. You have trees in your body, you have grass in your body. Everything is related to the human. So it's just like they said, Jacob. The meaning of Jacob means heft up. So the ladder of Jacob is the spinal cord, which is the 33 vertebrae. So if you count the 33 vertebrae, it's built like the spinal cord. It's built like the spinal cord. So that's why it's called the ladder of Jacob and the gathering of angels. The gathering of angels is the 12 zodiac signs, which is the 12 disciples of Jesus. So the 12 disciples of Jesus is the spinal nerves, which is the disciples of the 33 spinal vertebrae.
Wow.
That is why in medicine you see a logo with sword and two snakes.
Two snakes. Yeah.
Yes, the sword itself means the spinal cord. Then the two snakes that coiled up on the sword refers to Moses' staff turning into snake, which is the chakras, the human chakras. Hey, DC, I'm from Nigeria and I stay in Nigeria, Delta State. That's where I am now. So everything about what they call African spirituality is about medicine, herbs, and the human body.
Makes so much sense because people here, everybody's sick, but they just don't understand why. But every time when you point it out, you literally become like the enemy. I'm like, do you see? It just doesn't make sense. Even the way the babies are born today, like when they come out, the light is on their face, they're getting slapped by, their ass spanked by some friends in the hospital, and then on top of that, the life in general. So it's all messed up.
Everything is messed up for a reason, and that reason is for us not to attain a higher consciousness. Because when you give a worship outside of you, other than yourself, you are literally bringing your vibration down, because that worship is supposed to go down to yourself. Because no matter the books you read, if you don't understand yourself, you can never have understanding of any book. So understanding should come from within.
And also I was going to ask, there's a ritual back home where like babies, when they're born, I can't remember what age it was. I was watching a documentary, but they were dipping these leaves, making the baby walk early than they walk here. Because down here you gotta wait for those crawling and stand up and da. But back home, the ancestors, the elders, they just grab these specimen herbs and they'll touch the legs multiple times and so on. And then the babies, before you know, they're like walking, but they're little tiny. Is that contributions from the herb itself?
Yes, in
Igbo land, rituals.
In Igbo land, in my culture, we have a lot of herbs for children. But rather, what they did, they give our children polio injection. So what these injections do is to limit our optic thalamus. So it keeps it in check. So it's proven a child born under African medicinal herbs is stronger than any child born in the hospital, both vibrational and spiritual.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those herbs, we call it the cooking of a child. We dip them into that herbs, and we also give them to drink. It helps grow them and protect their vibrations, their consciousness. So that is why at about age of 7, we initiate them into the traditional occult. This is to protect them from injections. It doesn't heal you. That's why after treatment you get sick again. But it's proven a lot of children who grow from the African setting, who take herbs, they don't go to hospital. They are always strong. They don't get sick easily.
I have them for years. Even the cold, like I keep it straight. Like after I noticed what's going on, I had to take baths with salt, bath deep down for the salt, stay in there for a minute. Because down in the water is fluorides, all this other stuff I had to cut off.
The most strongest salt in the universe is the African local salt. The white salt? African sea. Yes, the white African sea salt, locally produced. If you can get it, you will thank me later.
That's the one I used a lot, but there's two different versions. There's the pink one that looks like pink, and then there's the white one.
It's not odd.
It's not pink.
The ones you're talking about is not African salt. African salt, you have to get it from the African grandmothers, because there's a way they produce it. They have to mold it and then keep it in the smoke for it to get dried and strong.
Okay.
So it's not really white. It's not really white because of the smoke.
Okay.
So we use it for ritual bathing and all that. It helps, keeps the mind and soul rejuvenated.
Crystallized.
Yes.
Wow.
So that salt is the purest of salt and very harsh. You have to use it very little because it's extremely harsh.
Boy, they messed up a lot of things, yeah. It's like
yes,
whatever you touch, you just have to be careful.
Yes, stone salt. We call it stone salt because we some part of Africa they cultivate it, they gather it, and then they have to dry it through smoke. So it looks like stone. It looks like stone, like crystal. So when you get it, you have to break it, pieces it to be able to use it. So the one you're using is factory produced.
Yeah, I need to come back from there. That's the goal.
Yes, if you have to come back, you can see it here. In fact, here we'll give you all the natural things that you need. There are a lot of leaves our ancestors bettered with to create consciousness. Yes, they exist, a lot of them. Like when you bring zobo, you know zobo leaves.
Yeah.
Yes, the betting of zobo leaves and coconut water enlightens the human mind. But it has to be a lot of coconut waters. So you just put zobo leaf inside, you just dip yourself there for some minutes, and then you flush it out. You will have a better vibration. You will love it because it cleans all the negative energy out and keeps you in a good vibration. They wash away negativity.
I mean, if we're talking about body-wise, you know, the people who don't go to number 2 every day, those ones, they struggle because, again, like you said, whatever you consume has got that energy in it. So you're just piling.
Not only, because the mistake we make is not only what you consume, it's also what you give into the body. Because the lotion and the cream you're using also affects the human consciousness, because the skin and every part of us is an extension of the human brain. So that's why we use palm kernel oil.
Palm kernel. Is that from palm oil?
Yes, it's from palm kernel. You fry it and you get the black oil. It's a natural oil that is meant to be used for the skin. Our ancestors use it for the skin, and that is why they live long. This oil helps to create a stronger melanin.
What about coconut oil? Because that's the only option I got here.
Yes, all of them are natural. If you don't see coconut, if you don't see palm kernel oil, use coconut oil for your hair, and you don't use. You're locked, right? You locked.
Yeah.
Yes, use tuna. Use tuna as soap for your hair. Tuna plant. Tuna plant.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it helps. It helps takes you away from the chemical that you put into the hair, but instead you're using a natural plant to wash and keep it healthy.
That's interesting. And also, like, another thing as well, so you know, here we spray deodorants that we don't know the instructions and so on. I stopped anyway. I use lemon or lime. That's what I use. But yeah, for like the rest of the people that I heard anyway, they were saying that if you keep spraying it in your armpit, it goes through your liver. It actually, that stuff is the damage.
There's a reason why we have hairs on the armpit. You're not supposed to shave them off.
Okay.
The hairs on the armpit is protecting the access to the liver. Like I said, your skin is the human body. So it's just like the ear here is actually connected to the pineal gland. That's why here it looks like a child coiled up in the mother's womb. The ear, look, it has the shape of a child inside the ovary.
Yeah.
So if you look at here, it looks like the head of the child ready to be petted. So it's connected to enlightenment. So if you wear some certain kind of crystals on the ear, it can actually affect the brain. You're not even supposed to open your body anyhow. You're supposed to know the particular part of your body you should open to create enlightenment.
That's what I was gonna say earlier when I was telling you about the tribe that used the big plates, because they had to switch how to receive their frequency. Because I noticed it from a distance, because people were speaking, why are those people dressing. I'm like, I know what they're doing.
If you look at the tongue, what is the tongue in the human body? What does the job of the tongue in the human body?
So it's a vibration receiver, like somewhere where the sound or the vibration impacts to create that sound.
Yes.
So whatever that's why we add a reference to drum, to instruments, because it's part of the body. It's an instrument that is on your body or in your body, in your car.
So if you're opening the tongue, you're opening the liver.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
Because the tongue doesn't even need you to brush the tongue. It doesn't need you to brush it because it cleans itself.
That's why it cuts and oh wow, that goes.
That's why the liver also cleans.
Promote the toothbrush and the toothpaste.
So in Afro-African culture, we don't use paste, we use sticks to clean the tongue and the teeth. Because whatever you're adding to the tongue, you're adding it to the liver.
Oh, damn.
So it's very, very important to watch all these things. We have to be very, very careful. Because the tongue is the liver. It cleans itself. The liver cleans itself. So when you have liver problem, you've damaged all those certain minerals that helps it clean itself. So the damage, once the liver is damaged, it shows on the tongue. The tongue starts to change color.
Makes sense.
So the tuna is also very good for the tongue and the liver because it cleans everything and keeps the liver healthy. So when you use the tuna to wash your hair, it opens the holes that those hair comes from, then it keeps them healthy and high vibrational. So you're not supposed to use soap, shampoo for hair
as well, right?
Yes, you should not dye the hair.
It will be killing it.
Yes, it will kill it. Those are chemicals because you're forcing it to change color. Yes, the hair can actually change color when you apply chemical to it. So in the natural sense of it, it's not the chemical that is changing the color, it's the hair itself being forced to get hot. It gets hot. So the hotness given to the hair, like burning it changes the color. So that hotness is not good for the hair to go through.
If you, I swear that if you were like, okay, you would just be laughing your ass off. Because it's like heartbreaking to see what's going on. At the same time as well, like me and you in different rooms, we get what's going on. But I know we can only take the host the river to see some.
But you can't force it to work.
Can direct them.
Yes.
But
yes,
exactly.
You just have to open the door. Then they choose what to see. Show them what to see, and they choose.
Yeah.
Yes. So the human body is very, 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 very efficient, and whichever way you give it, that determines if you're going to live long or not.
That's why they got fast food. And also one more question I was gonna ask. I was gonna say, so you know, Bantu, we used to make our own brewing of alcohol, and for me, it was the most natural one I've seen so far before I came here. Was the one that you can turn into like a milkshake vibe, and before it ferments for long, it becomes the alcohol. Is that brand called Kubuku? I don't know if you have heard about it.
Kubuku. Okay, let me Kubuku, Kunu, we have Kunu, we have Kibuku, we have
similar words.
Yes, we have palm wine, we have different types, we have Raffia wine, from the raffia tree that looks like palm wine. The one Jesus turned into water. From water to raffia wine. Raffia wine, it grows on the riverine side.
Okay.
It's a good wine. It contains a lot of yeast for the eye. Very good for the eye. So what they mean is that you're not supposed to consume the alcohol produced by the factory. That is why Jesus turned water into wine. So naturally, what the palm tree does, palm tree transforms water into wine. That is why it embodies the wine into its body. So you have to tap it to get those wine. So those wine, the yeast in the wine creates and helps the eye and also improves the human consciousness. That is why the palm wine is the most healthy wine in the whole world.
So even that stick to the traditions, not the spirits.
Not the palm wine, not the palm wine you have to go to the mall to buy. The palm wine produced by the local people, because they go yes but because they get it naturally from the tree.
You would laugh. If you were here, you would laugh. You'd be disappointed, you'd laugh. Down here.
You know, ignorance is the greatest weaponry that has happened to African children. And not only the ignorance, the greatest cost we have bestowed upon ourselves is common sense. Common sense is the most natural thing a human being is supposed to have. But the problem now is that they've used religion to affect our common sense, which means when you think you're thinking for yourself, you're not thinking for yourself. You're thinking the way and pattern you have been created, programmed to think like.
Follow.
Yes.
Wow.
So Daniel, I think my data is down. You know, in Nigeria here we manage data, so it's sucked and it's out. So very soon, I will be out live. So I think I have to.
Thank you for the knowledge. We'll stay in touch.
Yes, maybe next we can reschedule the live.
No problem.
We can always reschedule, then come back and go on like we have.
No problem. Anytime. And we'll find a way to support each other, because obviously I know that this information needs to get, to the Bantu.
Yes.
So I'll do what I can. We'll stay connected, because this is needed. Because like I said, this became handy. So.
Yes, somebody is asking, what soup can we use to bathe? What soap? That is actually the spelling of soup, not soap.
It's a black soap.
Yes, the African black soap is the best soap because it comes from the palm tree. Just like I said, the palm tree contains the most efficient nutrients that helps the skin. So black soap, it comes from the palm tree. So use black soaps. Very nice.
All right. I'll let you.
So Dashi, thank you very much. Peace.
No, thank you.